What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're reacting to the 9th episode of Super Cub. This one's titled In Ice. So yeah, winter is well and truly on its way. We saw a little bit of the winter prep last episode, with both of us buying the handlebar covers. Like you put your gloves in and you just put them in. They're not the most attractive thing in the world, but they are pretty effective apparently. So whilst Reiko really doesn't like how they look, she ultimately gives in and is like, actually, you know what? They're actually pretty decent. I'll make do for now. I'm sure you could definitely stylize them or find different styles that would fit you and fit your bike more often. Fit your bike more aesthetically, I should say. But ultimately, these basic ones, they do a good job for the price they are. So that's more the important thing there. I'm assuming we'll be doing some more winter prep today. Dealing with ice, I'm sure that's going to make driving a little bit difficult. I genuinely do not know about the grip of a Super Cub's tires. I assume they're pretty all-purpose tires that they would be shipped with, because most vehicles will come with all-weather tires. Tires? Jesus Christ, I am very tired today. With all-weather tires, that should be able to deal okay with it, but ice is just tricky to deal with just full stop. I don't know if there's anything special we can necessarily do to prep for that. I think it's more just about prepping the rider more than anything. Might need to spend a little bit more time before riding out, letting the engine and everything warm up. If it's been outside in the winter, might need to give it a minute just to warm up and let everything come up to temperature and then head out. But I guess we'll see. I'm actually kind of curious about this. It's not like they have an immense amount of power, so you shouldn't be slipping all over the road just by accelerating or anything. But maybe you'll have to take it a little bit slower on certain roads, especially out in the country, so I guess we'll see. But the first part of the episode, we went over to She's Home, which actually is a cafe. Which, okay, French name, serving German bread at a German bakery, with Italian espresso, and then an American diner area. It's like, sure, we have all the cultures coming together here. A bit of British in there as well. Not a huge amount, but there's a little bit of British in there as well. American and British, you tend to get a little bit of overlap there, but not a huge amount. But we met the father, and we also met the mother. She seemed a little bit more embarrassed about her mother and her demeanor, maybe? I'm not quite sure what necessarily caused that. Maybe it's just embarrassing. When she's quite different like that. She drove like a pickup truck, which I guess is kind of uncommon for Japan. You probably don't see a huge amount of them. But yeah, we grabbed some coffee. It was a thanks for helping out at the cultural festival, which again, we did an Italian themed thing, so it kind of gave us a clue that maybe there would be like a multinational thing going on with her family, maybe. Turns out to be the case. But ultimately we became regulars at it, which is fair. Like, I mean, you find a nice little spot like that, you become a regular of it pretty easily. But you can't go too regularly when you're on a budget, obviously, but a nice little treat every now and then is always nice. Like, yes, you can always make coffee at home. Like, that's the thing with restaurants and coffee shops and everything. You can absolutely make all of this at home yourself, but one, that's extra effort. Two, it's never really going to be the same as what you buy in stores. It just becomes... And three, it's a reason to go out, more than anything. It's a reason to go out and meet people. Like, if you always just did it at home, you don't really go out and make plans to meet people with it. It's like, these three come over and hang out at the coffee shop and have a coffee. It's like, sure, they could all just make coffees at home, but it wouldn't be the same, right? So... I spoke last time about how I had my little regular routines as well back in the day. I don't really have a regular routine anymore. Like, I don't really have a cafe that I frequent or anything like that. Maybe I'll start looking around. There are a lot of cafes nearby. That's the thing with living out in the country in Britain, is that there's not really many shops anymore. Like, if you go into like a big city, there's usually like a high street or something that you can go to. I think, let's pick a city on the south coast that I used to go to a lot, like Chichester. I used to visit Chichester quite a lot. Me and my grandmother would, I think it became almost like a weekly thing to do our weekly trip to Chichester. And that was that was what am I looking for? Yeah, they have a decent high street there, and there used to be a lot more variety. So obviously, a lot of things have started closing down. Obviously, as everything moves online, and especially with Corona, I'm sure a lot of those shops has probably shut down as well. I haven't been to Chichester since COVID happened. Actually, I haven't been there in a long time. Actually, now I think about it. But that's just one of those examples. And I'm sure, like, if you go to like London or something, big city centre, you'd obviously have something. But in the country here, it's, well, you either have a cafe, since that's something that can't go online necessarily unless you have delivery, but no one wants delivered coffee or delivered, like, cafe food. It doesn't make sense. Hairdressers is another big one. I think there's, trying to think, I think there might be 3 or 4 hairdressers just on this street alone. It's pretty nuts. And then, like, takeaway food places, like Chinese or Indian or, like, pizza places and things like that. It's either food or hairdressers. I kind of like the 2 options you have. So I do have some cafes that I could frequent. Maybe build up a little bit of a tradition, meet up with some people. But so far, nothing like that in my life. But I should probably change that. Anyway, especially now that vaccines are going out, I've got my first jab. Maybe once I get my second jab, I'll start being a bit more adventurous and going out into coffee shops and stuff. But we'll see. Anyway. I've talked for long enough. As per usual, these are time-based format actions here on YouTube. If you want to see the full picture in picture, go to my Patreon down description below. £4 a month gives you access to all picture and picture actions I do on the channel, which is everything from the current seasonal lineup, as well as Patreon request shows such as Symphony G, which we'll be doing straight after this. We also have movie reactions, and currently on my Patreon there is a movie poll to vote on which movie you'd like me to watch. Link to that is in my Discord, along with the 6 movies that you that you can vote for me. It's currently a 2-horse race between Promare and I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. So one of those 2 is likely to win. I think there's only a vote in it, so go check that out if you are a Patreon member. But here on YouTube, we do timer based. So bottom left of the screen, you'll see a time for the episode. I count down 3 to 1 play. Then play site episode, I site episode, and we should be in sync. Watch this one on Funimation as per usual, since they're the ones who licensed it. We have the Kadokawa logo and then the Funimation logo to start, so it's about 10 seconds of logos, give or take. I'll call them out as I go past, but you can also use screen flash on my face, on the mic, or this part of my headset to tell when the scenes are transitioning. That should help you sync it up as well. So, with all that said, let's get into this week's episode, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, play. Kadokawa. Funimation. Cheers. Here we go. Yep, it's cold. Oh, a little bit of a frost on there. Bit tougher to start up in the cold, isn't it? Gotta let her warm up. Wow. Well, this is a test to see if we've got enough cold protection. Yep. 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 It's rough, isn't it? Yep. In ice. Okay. OP time? OP time, yeah. Yeah, the skirt's not going to cut it. You need to have, like, full-on trousers there. You need something, at least. Maybe something to go over your face as well, like I don't know really what you could get, but just like a scarf or anything you can just pull up like that, that would help a lot. Maybe a thicker coat? You can get proper like winter coats that like when you zip them all up, they cover your mouth like this as well, right? You can probably get something similar to that. But I think a big winter coat like that might be a bit pricey for us. Maybe if we save some money. Hmm. Alright, here we go. Yeah. Those. Huh? They thought of something, but they really don't want to. What are they thinking of? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. One more to the group. Oh, that's got to be cold. Oh, that looks good. I'll warm you up. Mm. Okay. Too much can make it alcoholic. Interesting. Good to know. Gonna give her like something to sit on. Nope, we're just gonna. Okay. Okay. What? Uh. So dumb. Could. Yeah. Oh. Such as. Ah, new coat. Hmm. Ah. Ah. Okay. Canada. Okay. Hmm. Interesting. Ah, make it into a liner. Okay. Okay. Oof. Okay. Lanolin oil. Got it. Okay. Get going. Right go, maybe? Yep. Give up. Goes cool. One of the clubs, maybe? Yeah. Maybe a teacher? Who are we going for? Hmm. Oh no. What's it gonna be? On you get. Uh. Yeah, that's the helmet. She's really not doing that. Yep. Yep. Convinced. Hey. Sports clubs showing up. Ah, nice. Makes sense. Okay. Ooh. Hey, Fabus Cozy. Nice. Make use of all the material. Sure. Uh, nice. Very quick work as well. Alright, let's test it out. See how we go. There's the color shift again. Always got low when it kicks in, right? Mm-hmm. Using the Thermos Cozy as well. Mm-hmm. Mm. God, it's so cute. Love the show. I still think you need something for your legs. First snowfall of the season. I guess that snowfall will eventually make its way to us as well. Yep, the wind's coming as well. Yep, yep. We need something. Skirts aren't going to cut it. Hmm. Hmm. What do they argue about? Still very much against whatever they're trying to buy. I don't even know what it is at this point. Windshield, okay. Got it. 4790, huh? Sold already. Yep, they're probably going pretty quick right now. Okay. Do they have anything else? Oh boy. Oh boy. Uh, I still think you wouldn't necessarily need a windshield. I think just a scarf and then something for your legs would be enough. I honestly think that should help. Because a lot of that cold air is coming in here and then going down and going up. So, yep. More alcohol stuff, okay. I mean, mm-hmm. Where we get one to try. Right, try it before you buy. Right. Wait, what about the old guy who has the shop? We're gonna go see him? Of course. I'm sure your wish will be granted very soon. Oh, this guy. Got a windshield though. Oof. Ah. Yeah. Might want to start thinking. Might want to start thinking of selling that one for parts. But we can see how the windshield goes. Bit better, huh? Now what are they thinking? Oof. Oof. Hmm. Join the cup cult. Cult, whatever. Yells me got them. Honestly, the HUD Cub one actually looks pretty good. Like, cause it is more slimline. Color change again. Well, really max now, huh? Also helps that you're actually wearing trousers, not skirts in this one, but still. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's very true. Good episode. Very good episode. I'm generally surprised that windshields are that effective. I mean, it makes sense. Because winds, like, yeah, wind in general is like, you could have, like, let's say you were at minus 10 Celsius, for example. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. Probably like 20 something, if I had to guess. Maybe 20 Fahrenheit, somewhere around then. Maybe like 30 Fahrenheit. Well, no, because 0 is 32 Fahrenheit, right? So let's just say 0 degrees Celsius, 32 Fahrenheit. If you're just sitting in there, obviously your heat's dissipating, but as soon as the wind comes, there's more cold air coming at you. So your body radiates the heat, and your heat goes into the air around you. But because that slightly warmer air is immediately replaced by even colder air, you just dissipate heat even faster. So windshields naturally will work. And that's why in super hot weather, when the air is really hot, a fan would actually make you feel worse because the hot air that the heat is absorbing into you, because the temperature around you is hotter than your skin temperature, you're putting even more hot air there to absorb heat. So that's why fans need colder air to work. But still, good episode. Next time, snow. Alright, we get our promise of snow. I wonder... Actually, that's a good question now, because I haven't really thought about, like, gritting lorries or anything. Like, here in the UK, when winter hits, and when we know there's a pretty good chance of a heavy snowfall, we will have the gritters out on the roads, provided they put the right grit in, because apparently there's multiple types of grits they can use, and I think it was not this winter, but the winter before it, so the winter of 2019, I think they put the wrong grit in, apparently. I don't know how that is possible, but ultimately ended up in not having the desired effect when it started heavy snow falling. Actually, was it 2019? Yeah, because 2020 was the year we had no real snow, wasn't it? Yeah, it was this winter that had, like, no snow, so it must have been 2019. But yeah, like, does Japan have, like, gritting lorries that go out and, like, put grit down on the roads before the snowfall? Or do they have snow plows that do it? Like, how does Japan handle heavy snowfall? Because I assume it's a fairly common occurrence for a lot of the country to have heavy snowfall in the winter. Because Japan has much worse extremes than what we do in the UK. Like, the UK fluctuates a lot, especially on a daily basis. We don't really have consistent weather for the most part. Like, I know the theory is like, or the stereotype is, Britain is it's like it's raining one day and then a heat wave the next, but it genuinely is like that. Like, right now we're having some really nice weather, and it's actually getting quite warm. Like I've said on previous videos, it's not that warm relative to, say, like, the rest of the world. Like, right now in the UK, where I am at, it is currently 16 degrees Celsius, which is 60 Fahrenheit. That's not that hot in the grand scheme of things. For 4:30 in the morning, it's pretty warm. And it's not even going to get that much hotter today by the looks of things, which is nice. Next week, we're meant to be getting a bit more heat as well, but that might come down as well. But for me, as a person who doesn't deal well with heat, it's quite warm in here. Not to forget, I have a big light there. Well, it's not a big light, it's a ring light, but it's still a light that is projecting, that's creating some heat from its light. I have a big computer here that's expelling all its heat into the room from the GPU and CPU that are running. Thankfully, they're not running too hard right now because I'm just watching videos. It's not that intensive. But I am recording as well, so that's eating up my CPU, so that's generating some CPU heat, and that's all just being recycled into this room. I have my door closed because I need peace and quiet while I'm recording. I don't want my dog to run in here and just sit next to me and then bark all of a sudden, scaring the shit out of me. So all that heat is being trapped in here, and British houses trap heat very effectively. We have to design them to trap heat effectively because we spend a lot of our time in colder weather, particularly over the winter and springtime, even autumn time. Later autumn anyway. So, and we don't have air conditioning. Like, most houses just don't have air conditioning, especially out here in the country. It's just not built as part of the house. And to get one installed would be a pain in the ass. So, yeah, I would love to get an actual... I should get an actual, thermometer to put in my room so I can easily glance to see how hot it actually is in the room. Because outside, it's 16 degrees. I'm sure if I stepped outside, I'd be like, this is much nicer. But here in the room, it's getting warm. And I should really have something. Also, just because it's important, humidity. It's always humid. Like, it's always, always, always humid here. Like, it's currently 91% humidity, which is not nice. Thankfully, in the day, it reduces down to like 60, but 91% humidity here at night, it's not great. It's not great. So yeah, that's my rant about the weather over, but I'm curious how Japan deals with its snow, because I'm sure it has a lot more snowfall than what we have here in the UK, at least here in the south of UK. Up further up north and into Scotland, I'm sure there's a lot of snow, particularly up in the hills. I'm sure that's going to have quite a big effect. But I'm just curious how Japan deals with it. I'm curious to see how the Cubs are going to deal with it. I'm assuming most of the roads would be relatively clear of snow, either through plows or gritting or something. But I'm assuming there might be some more tricky conditions for them to ride in. So, also for pedal bikes, I'm sure Shi-chan's going to have some trouble on a pedal bike in this weather. I think she should take a bit more cold protection as well, but to her benefit, at least when she's riding, she's got her muscles working, she's generating more heat than usual, so her body's naturally warming up from the exercise. So I'm sure that counteracts it a little bit. Whereas if you're on a Cub, you're just sitting there and you just have the elements attacking you. So maybe pedal bikes are a little bit better for heat than, say, a motorcycle. So anyway, that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the one as per usual. Leave a like if you did, as well as your comments for you for the episode. Don't forget to hit subscribe as well to see next week's episode, as well as the rest of the Spring 2021 live you can find here on the channel. Thank you for watching. Till next time. See you guys later.